Hello and welcome to ET Future of Money. This is the Innovators Launchpad in partnership with Reserve Bank Innovation Hub. I'm Aloni Bhatt, and the first startup we are featuring is Anniyam Payment Solutions that has a product called MoneyPurse, and that aims to improve financial access to self-help groups. I have with me Manigandan EV, the CEO, who's a CA, and Sarahana T, the Chief Visionary Officer, who has experience in products and solutions linked particularly to the fintech domain. Manigandan and Sarahana, thanks very much for joining me here.
Thank you.
Morning.
Second, Sarahana, can you start by telling us, what was the problem that you saw which led you to come up with MoneyPurse?
Okay, to begin with, that's a very good question. The idea, how it came and where we started off with. In the big Indian market, we started working at the bottom of the pyramid. That's at the very grassroots level, over a decade and very good ample experience what we have. It's predominantly on the self-help group segment, their members, even the joint liability group and the farmer producer organization. We see the challenges, we have seen a lot of pain areas, and that's where our focus started. So if you ask us what could be the root cause of them and the key problem statements, we would say this: the lack of financial services for them in terms of accessibility, availability, and affordability. That's how we categorize those things. And particularly for the women perspective, if you see this, all these things categories leads to, if they want to avail the services on this financial services, it leads to loss of income for the day in terms of accessibility, because the banking channels are not nearby. It is not at their convenience. They have to travel a long way and they have to spend their time and effort. In order, if you put out in the terms of money, it's a loss of this income, and a half a day or whatever the day they have to lose it. And that service may not be immediately available, or for the day they have to repeatedly go for that. And that's again a recurring loss for them on their revenue. In terms of availability, even though it's available, some of the other banking formal channels, the record services are not digital. So still the transactions are cash-based transactions. And because of this, the women, whoever is there, they have some sort of reluctance in doing so, and they don't have the credit history. Without that credit history, they can't avail the credit services. That's again a bigger challenge for them. And in other terms, if you look out, there are some other services, financial services or the credit services digitally available, but those are not affordable. Despite of that, people try to go and avail the services in order to fulfill their needs of the hour, and they avail the services with very higher interest. And because of that, they have to spend a lot of shell out the money, their income, in terms to repay that interest. And because of this, they are not able to have the savings habits, or they are not able to have the potential to do the savings. All these are the root cause of why we are not able to do that.
Okay. And then, what does MoneyPurse actually do? How does it sort out this problem?
Yeah. So to control all these things and to normalize, we created a platform. It's a platform as a service. And that service, we made it as a multilingual in order to give it to the pan-India's bottom of the pyramid and to all the segment out there. This product was built with all these pain areas, considering that and providing a solution which is like a unified platform for the self-help group, for the joint liability groups, on the FPOs and its members, focusing on them. And this platform is very intuitive and ease of use platform for any novice user. If you look out on this, because of their bilingual feature, by default, their vernacular language would be there and they can switch between the other languages. And this device with the platform built with an integrated device with an Android platform, which can support on that. And that has a vernacular UI, which can use it on the go at any moment. And you have the voice prompts to give the confirmations on any financial transactions to the rural. That gives a sort of an understanding. Yes, this is the level of transactions I'm doing it, and the confidence which trust builds on that. Also, we provide a regional language receipt on this vernacular language, etc. The entire system is digital, end-to-end digital. We right from onboarding is a digital documentation. You do the validations of an account or digitization. You do the verifications on eKYCs, their KYCs, this proof of address, proof of identity, completely a digital end-to-end solutions which we are providing it. This has the instant account opening for a user who is not having so. The transactions are completely secured as per the Indian payment standards. We do have multi-factor authentications. The complete process, the flow is automated. We provide analytical reports. We provide customized dashboards. this gives the end user or the one who is operating, the women in the self-help group, if you take out, we have coined them with a name called a human banking specialist, because we bring a humanity touch to the Indian ecosystem, again, back going far away from the humanity to a robot or Android, the cobot, everything which is going on that part. And we take this opportunity to bring an assisted model service back into this ecosystem. That is
Okay.
how we provide this.
It's fascinating, but Sarahana, I have two questions. One is that, data upon data set shows us that when it comes to women and mobiles, there are not many women who have access to smartphones and mobile banking. Okay, that is one. The second is you're also dealing with women who have little knowledge of banking and finance and all of those things.
Right.
So one is, how do you how do you manage that accessibility challenge when it comes to mobile and mobile interface, and in terms of banking and finance, the knowledge gap? And then how do you go about building trust?
Okay, so this is where the area where we play with the existing, the infrastructure, which is available at so-called the self-help group, the operators, so-called the animators in the terminology. We transform them as a business correspondent of our bank. We give them all the knowledge, we train them, we educate them in the base grounds of that. And since they are the people who are well versed in and out in the SHG domain, we can very well train them easily on the financial activities, that's small activities. And ours, like said, our application is very intuitive ease of use, even for the novice user. It is with the bilingual, with the vernacular language. It's easy for them to get hold on what exactly the menus are. And it is all simple touch, 3 clicks goes ease of use functionalities. That is why we spent a lot of our time in designing our UI, the entire flow automations in quick understandings. So anybody who is even not a tech savvy or who is not well educated in this domain, the area of business operations, they still can very well step into this with the confidence of using it. And that makes the success for us to move on.
Okay. And how do you build trust? How do you get them to use the product?
Right. Two things out there. We prefer to bring this human banking specialist as a person who is a rural folk out there, who is one among the villager, and he is very well renowned a person out there. So it's not a third person who is coming into this ecosystem to provide a financial service. First of all, building a trust in the rural is the biggest challenge out. So the localite, the rural folk out there, he gives the confidence, hey, I'm the one who is going to provide the solution. You know me very well. Every day morning I see you, and at the end of the day I go back with you. So the people have the trust bonding, we have that. And in the self-help group, by default, it is a bonding nature with them. It's a people out there, average of 15. They always have the trust factor in order to support each other. And that is the confidence level, which helps us to build this ecosystem in a bigger way, so that one person handle multiple group of people out there, with the trust factor being he's a rural folk out, he's a renowned person, he's one among them in the group, he provides the SIG services, he provides the financial services, non-financial services, and other value-added services. And the system itself is building off its own, so that the entire ecosystem is very strong for us to move on.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that, Sarahana. That clears some stuff out. Money, if I could come to you, what is the market opportunity for you with this product, and how do you increase the depth when it comes to product offtake?
Thank you. With respect to this question, see, self-help group, it is a combination of 15 to 20 members, and in case of joint liability group, it is around 4 to 10 people. There's already established system. We are not creating a new system. It's established system where it is from 1980s it is started, and it is going on. But the problem what we perceive, as Sarahana already told, there is a lot of pain areas are there. So that pain areas, we are solving it. So we have identified the pain areas, and majorly the reachability, the accessibility, availability. So these are the major problems they are facing. So through our solution, we are solving these problems. So for this, we provide multiple solutions. We are not just restricting to one area or only one solution. See, it's an end-to-end solution, particularly for the SSG segment, JLG segment, and the farmer producer organization segment. So through this process, with the existing market, we are also formed the new group or new joint liability group or the formation of new FPOs. So through that, we can expand the market. So there is an ample opportunity for the market, because with our population, 130 crore population, we can easily, through organic mode, we can develop our solution, and we can provide the solution to the needy people.
Okay. You've been recognized and nurtured by the Reserve Bank Innovation Hub. It's a validation for you and for your product. What has this meant for you apart from that recognition?
See, there should be some recognition. See, suppose if I'm going to a bank or I'm going to an NBFC, no one can understand what is my ability or my advantage. But when I go to RBIH, so they have recognized, first thing they have recognized us to provide solution to the common man. See, they have listed out some 7 issues. So these are the issues they have sorted out, and that ultimately we are providing major problems for which we are providing a solution. So it is really a very what you call it's a big trust. We can say it's a trust also. We can trust whatever RBH given to us. So with our existing experience and knowledge and our resources, we are providing the solution to the end customer who already in need of the solution. See, lot of innovations are going on, but ultimately the people who are in the rural area, they have not received the solution. But through RBH, we are exposed to the world. We can say it's the rural world. So through this, we will provide the solution to the needy people. Really, it is a very, very important for us to go to the market.
All right. It's great that you have the opportunity, and I can see the passion that you and Sarahana both have. Sarahana, to you next. This is my last question to you. You've come this far, right? So what more do you need in terms of support to succeed in the long term?
Right. Like Mani have mentioned right on the correct point, and I would take from there to answer your question. It is that need of the hour at this point of time for this rural India, and for our PM's vision on taking this digital, cashless economy into a big way. Startups really need the support, the opportunity, in fact, to step further. The very first step to step on is they would be having the domain expertise. They could even have a minimal viable product on that. And our team like RBH and other, they give the opportunity, right opportunity to showcase the product to the right people and take it up to the ground level on the very first instance. Then that's where it starts addressing to the nation, the need. From there, you can start building with innovations and all your AI, ML, BI, everything you can do on. But the very first thing is to start providing the solutions at the ground, which is the right need at this point of time. So we expect such sort of opportunities. And in fact, RBAs have set up a very good platform, and they are inviting a lot of startups into this ecosystem who are really nourished and encouraged. And they have even provided a lot of support on all the banking perspective, financial perspective. They do have the mock sessions, they have workshops. These are all the things which they can keep on working on, and where our team like the startups would really need to enhance ourselves into this ecosystem.
Okay, one last question, and really the last question. But Sarahana, tell me, currently the market is different, right? I mean, we're going through an inflationary phase. There are fears of recession. Right. Money is tight everywhere. Lots of startups are floundering. Right. For a startup like you, what is the level of fear, and where do you feel the stumbling blocks are, and how do you get through this phase?
Okay, it's a really strategic question if you have to ask this. It is a matter of continuity of the business, where it is not just only the startup. The focus areas, everybody has their own focus area, everybody has their own vision and doing it, the market segment, target and all. But when you start building the customer base, that's where the real challenge comes in. That's where the big burn money has to on. So we focus in the area where the ecosystem is already built and it is there up for us. And we have the past decade, we said, we have worked on the grassroots level experience. We know the market size. We know the potential in this. And that's why we stepped into that segment to move on for this. So people like our startup, really, they do have their own vision on doing it. They really need to focus on what exactly the market which they are going on. And if they have to burn out much on the investment on acquiring the customer or to make this business potentials, then always the tumbling box is where actually the turnout of business comes in acquiring a customer base, either a database or an acquired customer base. These two are the tumble blocks. If you have that already in place, then you can really override that.
All right. Okay. With that, Manigandan and Sarahana T of MoneyPurse, thank you very much for sharing your vision with us, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you.